Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. First of all, I will introduce myself. My name is Kamalia Kurniasari with NIM 2024-32005. I am an undergraduate student of Information System at PLN Institute of Technology. Okay, so today I would like to present my practical assignments that I have completed during this course. The first one for my assignment is a portfolio website and Grid Calculator developed using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And the second one is a course information search system developed using PHP using conditional statements such as if, else, if, and else. Throughout these projects, I learned how front-end technologies and basic back-end programming can be used to create interactive web applications. Okay, so I will begin with the first project. But before that, I will share my screen first. Okay. Okay, the first project is a simple website consisting of two connected pages. Um, the first page is an About Me page, and the second page is Grid Calculator page. Okay, so to keep the project organized, I separated the files using their functions. The HTML files are used for the page structure. The CSS file are used for styling and layout, and the JavaScript in here is used for calculations and interaction. This separation follows good for web development practices because it makes the code cleaner and easier to maintain. Okay, so let me start with the About Me page with index.html. Okay, the purpose of these pages is to introduce myself and display some basics personal information in a portfolio format. For the result is like this. At the top page, there is a navigation bar, and the navigation bar in here contains the website title and two navigation links, namely tentang saya and kalkulator nilai. One important feature of the navigation bar is that it is so sticky. This means the navigation remains visible even when the user scrolls down the page. This improves usability because users can switch between pages without scrolling back to the top like this. And the active page is also highlighted differently, and this helps users understand which page they are currently viewing. Moving to the main content, I created a profile card in here that contains my profile photo, my full name or student ID, study program, and a short biography like this. The profile image is displayed using the HTML tag like this. This tag allows images to be embedded into a web page. Meanwhile, the text information is organized using heading and paragraph text to create a clear hierarchy of information. I chose to place this information inside a card component because it makes the design cleaner and more modern. Okay, below the profile section in here, below the profile section, there is a skill section. This section displays several skills that I currently have, such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, and UI design. Each skill is displayed using colorful text. Besides making the page more visually appealing, the section quickly communicates my technical abilities to visitors. The next section is the future goals section. This section contains there are three goals that I hope to achieve within the next 2 semesters. These goals are displayed using bullet points because the lists make information easier to read and understand. The content of the section is written using my own words as required by the assignment instructions. Okay, so now I will explain the design, the aspect of the website. To ensure the consistency throughout the website, I used CSS custom properties, also known as CSS variables. Instead of repeatedly writing the same colors, I define them once inside to the root selector and reuse them throughout the project. The color palette consists of this web is soft pink, soft yellow, soft green, and soft blue. I selected these colors because they create a calm, friendly, and more appearance while maintaining readability. The website also uses shadows, rounded corners, spacing, and hover effects to improve visual quality. For example, when users interact with button or navigation links like this, smooth transition are applied using the CSS transition property. This makes interaction feel more natural, and in addition, I implemented responsive design using media queries when the screen width becomes smaller, such as on mobile device, or we use like this. The layout automatically adjusts itself to remain readable and user-friendly, like this. Okay, so the second page of the website is the grade calculator, like this. Okay, the purpose of this calculator is to automatically determine a student's final score and grade based on three assignments component. Okay, these components are assignments, midterm examinations, and final examinations. The grading weights are displayed clearly on the page, and assignments contribute 30%. The midterm examination contributes 30% too, and the final examination contributes 40%. Okay, displaying these weights helps users understand how the final score is calculated. The page contains three input fields where the user can enter their score in here. Each input field has a label and placeholder text to guide the user like this. And there is also a calculate button to start the calculation process in here. Okay, so the most important part of this page is the JavaScript logic start in calculator.js. So the first feature is a welcoming message in here. When the page is open, a greeting message appears automatically using the window dot onward even like this. Yes. This demonstrates how JavaScript can respond and when a page finish loading. Next, there is a function called in here hitung nilai akhir. The purpose of this page is to calculate the final score based on the grading weights provided in the assignment. The function receives three values as parameters: assignment scores, midterm score, and the final examination score. Okay, the formula multiples each score by its corresponding weight and then adds the result together. After obtaining the final score, the program calls another function called tentukan grade in here. This function is converts the numerical score into a letter grade. For example, score equal to a greater than 80, receive grade A. Scores between 70 until 79 is receive grade B, and so on until grade A in here. The next function is validasi input. This function is responsible for checking whether the user input is valid. Validation is extremely important because users may accidentally leave fields empty or enter values outside the acceptable range. The function checks whether the input is empty, whether it is a number, and whether it falls within the range of 0 to 100 in here. If any validation rule fails, an error message displayed and the calculation process are stopped. If all inputs are valid, the program proceeds with the calculation. The calculate button uses at even listener instead of the on-click attribute. This approach is considered better practice because it separates JavaScript logic from HTML structure. When the button is clicked, the program collects the user inputs, validates them, calculates the final score, determines the grade, and finally display the result. To assist debugging, console.log statements are also used to display input values and calculation result inside the browser console. Okay, so for example, like this, like this, where the result is like this. Okay, so that's about the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now I will explain the second assignment about PHP course information search system. In here, I will start my exam PP first. Okay, these projects focus on PHP conditional statements. The objective of this program is to search and display information about laboratory courses based on the course name entered by the user. Okay, the program consists of a single file called percabangan.php. Here, inside this file, HTML and PHP are combined to create both the user interface and the processing logic. At the top of the page, okay, in here, at the top of the page, user can see my name and my student ID followed by a simple search form in here. The form contains a text input field where users can enter the course name and a submit button used to send the request. The form uses the post method because user data needs to be sent to the server for processing. In here, when the form is submitted, PHP captures the entered value using the $_post variable in here like this. Okay, before performing any comparisons, the input is processed using two functions, trim and scroll lower. The trim function removes unnecessary spaces before and after the text, while scroll lower converts our characters into lowercase letters. These functions ensure that the search process is not affected by capitalization difference or accidental spaces. The program stores information for 8 different courses that belong to 2 laboratories. And for the first laboratory is Information Retrieval Laboratory, while the second laboratory is the Software Engineering Laboratory. Okay, each course contains information such as the laboratory name, course code, number of credits, and a brief description. The main logic of this program is implemented using if, and else statements. Each conditions checks whether the user's input matches one of the available course names. If a match is found, the corresponding course information is assigned to several variables. The information is prepared, PHP display it inside field sheet element. The field sheet is used to group related information together and make output easier to read that. If none of the condition match the user's input, the else statement is executed. And in that case, the program displays a message informing the user that the requested course couldn't be found. This demonstrates how conditional statements can be used to make decision based on user input. For example, like this, if we just click browse. So the result is like this. And if we just like this, the result is di mata kuliah data warehouse tidak ditemukan, like that. Okay, so for the conclusion, these 2 practical assignments helped me understand fundamental concept in both front-end and back-end web development. From the first project, I learned how to structure web page using HTML, style interface using CSS, create responsive layouts on the website, validate user input, and implement interactive functionality using JavaScript. From the second project, I learned how to process form data using PHP, apply conditional statements, handle user input, and generate dynamic content. And together, these projects demonstrate how different web technologies can work together to create useful and interactive applications. Maybe that's enough for my explanation about this practicum. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and I'm very apologize if there are any mistakes on my explanation. And the last I say, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.